Damn right it is, and it is Mike Chaffee and Tyler Lau. WeLiveFantasy.com, the final Cup race breakdown of the 2020 season, the final video breakdown of the 2020 NASCAR season, and it all winds up in Phoenix, Arizona. Technically, it's Avondale, Arizona, but we'll let NASCAR get away with that one. 312 laps. Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Chase Elliott all dueling it out for the Cup Series championship. Tyler, I know you're champing at the bit to get back here to Phoenix. The last time the Cup Series was in Phoenix, you got yourself some life-changing lobby-winning money. Awesome stuff. And you absolutely nailed it. You knocked it out of the park that week. And I'm so excited to hear what you have to say about this week. Something a little interesting with Draftkings pricing this week in the NASCAR slate. You have two guys not in the Final Four priced above 4 guys in the Final Four. That's probably because they're damn good and their starting spot is where it is. Pretty interesting stuff. What were your first initial thoughts when you looked at this one?
I mean, I couldn't believe they priced Truex at the highest on the slate, over 11,000.
He's the highest out of all 3 series, too, by the way.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know he did really well last week. I mean, he led a lot of laps, had fastest laps, and definitely put numbers on the board. But, I mean, historically, Phoenix is not one of his tracks, and he's not in the Final Four. So I'm probably going to act like he's not even there.
Yeah, and the guy right below him starting 11th, the second guy above $11,000. This is like the Kevin Harvick playground. Probably arguably his best statistical track. Hasn't really been that way the past handful of years. But still, that's because he's not winning, and everyone's just used to him winning at Phoenix, but he's still top 5 every time.
Yeah, and leads laps. He leads
laps. And Denny Hamlin said in his interview on SiriusXM today that he still thinks that all the 4 championship contenders are going to have to beat Kevin Harvick this week in order to win the race. Might not win them the championship because they just have to beat all the other competitors, but they're going to have to beat Kevin Harvick to win this race, which I thought was very interesting. A couple other side notes, listening to SiriusXM and the media day that's been going on there. Denny Hamlin bringing a brand new race car. What he said, the best race car in the stable with Joe Gibbs Racing, that they're bringing the Phoenix. Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski are bringing the same race cars that they had, along with Chase Elliott earlier in the year, which I thought was very interesting. I don't know what I'll take from that, but I do know that Chase Elliott was hauling ass here earlier in the year, had that trouble late and climbed right back up there, and was just absolutely busting it. Brad Keselowski was running really, really well here. And he got into that little mix-up there up high on that restart where guys got into each other. And then Joey Logano, obviously, ran well here. So pretty crazy. So I'll let you get back into your initial thoughts. I just wanted to share that real quick, so I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Going actually along with that, Brad Keselowski, to help you with your takeaway from that, that's the same car he won at New Hampshire and he won Richmond with this year.
Awesome.
Which is the same tire combination as this race and the same package.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. And I still hate Brad Keselowski, but
yeah,
I will
compare Richmond to this track in the trucks and Xfinity.
Yes, absolutely. And New Hampshire. I mean, New Hampshire, you drive those corners very similar to the way you drive turns 1 and 2 here. So I'm there with that. I like Brad K. I mean, it really is surprising that they put Truex and Harvick above the rest of them, but I think Harvick is still worth the money. I mean, yeah, dude's got like 11 wins here. He led a lot of laps earlier this year, could have easily won that race. Joey Logano stayed out and ended up pulling it off. I think it could go either way with Harvick this week. We also used to always think that Larson was going to win every Homestead race when they were going there and never did. That's also so not Harvick. I think Harvick's got a chip on his shoulder for not making the playoff for it, and I think he's going to show them that he belongs there. And I think he could easily go win this race, so I'm going to be pretty much all in on Kevin Harvick.
I
I
like
love
that.
stacking. I love stacking Kevin Harvick with two playoff contenders, or I'm sorry,
Okay.
champion contenders, um, and then filling in as you can. That's kind of where I'm going to probably be at.
I like that. I like that. I've built 4 lineups so far for Cup, um, and I didn't touch Truex or Harvick. So I'll get into that now. I'll make a Harvick with 2 playoff competitors to go there. Um, to me, every time that's a really good point about Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson comparison with Homestead. Um, and we haven't seen it at Phoenix, so I don't have much to go off of there. But what you did saw was the respect that Kyle Larson gave to the playoff competitors, to where he didn't force the issue anywhere to give those guys any bad luck or any bad things to happen to them. Um, but I also have never seen Kevin Harvick blatantly spin someone out like I did last week either. So, you never know what you're going to see. But it seems like Larson kind of gave respect. And I think I could be wrong, but I think Harvick will give, unless Harvick's leading, and just is checking out, and just saying, see you, bye, y'all, race for second in your stupid championship. I don't think he's going to lay a bumper to any of those 4 guys to win the race.
No, but we don't need him to. We don't need him to. What we need him to do starting 11th at 11,000 is we need him to go out and lead 50 to 60 laps and finish in the top 5. And I think he could easily do that.
He can.
I mean,
He's going to finish top 5.
yeah. I mean, so if he ends up in the front at some point and leads 50 to 60 laps, which I could easily see him doing because he does it every fucking time, then you need him in your lineup. You need him in your lineup, dude. You need him. You need Kevin Harvick in your lineup. You need to put Kevin Harvick in your lineup. I don't know how many times I have to say you need to put Kevin Harvick in your lineup, but you should probably put Kevin Harvick in your lineup.
Yeah, you should put Kevin Harvick in your lineup. All right. Did you guys write that down? I sure did. All right. Well, that brings us to the championship 4. Brad Keselowski starting 3rd, Chase Elliott starting 1st on the pole, Denny Hamlin 4th, and Joey Logano starting 2nd.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it. You could go anywhere here. You can make a case for all the guys. BK ran very well here earlier this year. He ran well with these tires and this package at every track this year. He could do it. He could easily do it. He's worth the money. Throw him in your lineups. You better. Chase Elliott ran very well here earlier this year. Led a bunch of laps. Was in the winning lineup. My winning lineup.
Yeah, your winning lineup, baby.
Right. And he could do it again. He's shown that he's very good with these package and these tires too. I'm all there. Take him with Keselowski, him with Hamlin, him with Logano, and have fun. Hamlin is my only concern here. I would love to not take any Hamlin at all, but I've done that this year too much and got fucking.
Yeah, then he'll win the race. So.
Yeah. And led every lap. So I will be there, but he will be my lowest owned Final 4 contender.
I agree with you 100%, and I'm definitely got to have some Hamlin because even though he's been another burner and a complete wash these past couple weeks,
he can do it.
You watch. I mean, listen, all year, all 2020, it's been Harvick and Hamlin, and it's been Harvick and Hamlin, and it sure could come down to Harvick and Hamlin once again. It definitely can. And Denny, out of the 4 championship contenders, has the biggest upside with place differential, especially if those other guys fade back and he is leading. He's going to be getting you the max points out of the championship 4. I really liked what I saw from Chase Elliott last week. He really put the team and the championship on his shoulders in a high-pressure, serious situation, went out there and worked over Truex. I mean, he sat behind Truex for 3 laps, saw where he was bad, pounced on that 4th lap. And the car, just like we said, his car rolled through the center better than everyone. He got off the corner better than everyone. And it was really cool to see a young guy like Chase Elliott go out there and put it all on his shoulders and go out there and take it. And I mean, I think he can do the same thing at Phoenix. I don't see why not. The only things getting in his way are the three other drivers from his first championship at a really young age. And it's really cool to see, especially, I mean, I feel like it was just yesterday we were watching him drive the 25 car at Martinsville for the first time. And he went 3 laps down after 50 laps in the race. And now now he's just amazing. I mean, it's unreal to me to think that way. And
It shows our age, is what it does.
it was really, really cool to see him just, I mean, I was at Disney World. It started raining. We got back to the hotel and I was just watching Chase Elliott. And then I got back Monday, watched the race when I got home Monday to catch up on the DVR. And I mean, there was no one was stopping that 9 car last week. The only thing that could have stopped them was themselves, which kind of did happen, and NASCAR kind of looked the other way. But that's another story for another vlog and another podcast of 45 minutes of your
They're
time
like this.
talking about that. And some people will say NASCAR is rigged about that. We'll have a whole video on this in the off season if you want to tag along for that one. But I'll just say this: if NASCAR was rigged, there'd be a lot of crazier shit going on, just like this election. So we move on. I'm with you. I think Chase Elliott goes out there and plants his flag in victory lane. And then I would put Brad Keselowski there. But when you think about it, 2 of these guys have been there, done that, are champions, and 2 of them aren't. So you got to remember that. I mean, Joey and Brad, they've been there, done that with this whole championship race and this Final Four thing. So don't count those guys out. And Penske, really good at Phoenix. That's why I like Cindric. So those guys take up the whole 10K range. So all the championship 4 is in the 10K, and we dive
as far as Logano, let me get to Logano real quick because we didn't get far down.
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as Logano goes, again, this is a guy that was overpriced in March when I took him. He was in the winning lineup. He was 13% owned because he historically led laps here. That's why I took him. And he did in March, and he's probably going to do it again. So don't sleep on Logano.
Yeah.
He was the first to advance in. That gives him a few weeks to work on the car. Again, it is the same car. Don't sleep on Logano. He can do it. He can definitely do it.
And pay attention to that 22 Cindric car on Saturday. And if that car looks super fucking stable and it looks sucked down to the ground, you got to believe that those Penske cars are going to be very, very similar.
Right.
Just like Kentucky. We saw it at Kentucky. We saw it at Kansas. So.
Yeah, they bring the speed. They brought the speed for sure.
Right. And it's a trickle-down effect that carries through with no practice qualifying, things like that. So.
Right, of course. The next few guys I can't really get behind too much. I'm sorry, the next guy, Ryan Blaney. I got a tough time taking him at starting 5th at 9,800. It just is a very risky play. If he just finishes 5th, he doesn't even pay for himself. He's got to lead laps. And there's too many other potential lap leaders, especially with this being a chance.
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yeah, somebody was trying to. You got me?
Yes.
All right. As far as the next guy, Kyle Busch, you should have him in a bunch of lineups. He leads laps here. He's been running well.
Have you ever watched a Phoenix race?
Yeah. Yeah, he should be your 3rd guy in your 3 Dom stacks. Like he should be
2 playoff guys and a Kyle Busch.
That would be great. Perfect.
I can live with that. With that. Where you at with Jesus Johnson? The farewell tour ends here. He will be in IndyCar next year, which will get me to watch IndyCar even more, that's for sure. Starting 26th, do you see any chance of a swan song? Jimmy Johnson had to be in all your lineups here in Phoenix, or are you all right fading that kind of chalkiness there?
I'm closer to the fading the chalkiness. I don't think I'm really going to get there that much because of, my way I'm going to be constructing my lineups. But I wouldn't hate you if you did. I could see him finishing top 10. I could see him paying potentially for himself. But I think there's value lower than that that gives you a better shot at more points.
Yeah.
Which would be, Eric Jones or William Byron, in that case, or
Yeah.
Tyler for that matter.
Yeah. And so here's the deal. Jimmy Johnson, greatest of our generation, the 2000s moving forward. It's been amazing to watch, and it's been very special, and I'm so happy that we got to grow up watching Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, the tail end of Darrell Waltrip, the tail end of a lot of great drivers. And it's going to be really sad next year not playing Jimmy Johnson at all in Draftkings, not picking him in season long, like not being able. But it was so cool being able to witness greatness. Why we've been able to watch and enjoy NASCAR. Um, all good things have to come to an end. I'm glad he's not retiring due to injury or concussions or
Right.
just can't do it anymore kind of deal. Um, I'm probably going to have a couple sentimental Jimmy Johnson, Clint Boyer lineups just because I'm going to be sad not being able to play those guys next year. But just know that they probably won't make you any money. So there's that.
Hey, Clint's good here. Clint is good here. He can run top.
I know, but Clint starting ninth to me, he's got to win, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't see it. Yeah.
So
Like I said, my favorite in this, and again, the Alex Bowman and Kurt Busch, you can make the argument that they could potentially lead some laps on a 2-tire stop deal, but I think that ultimately gets overrun, and it just the risk of them losing positions is too much at that price tag.
yeah,
I like Jones, Byron, and Reddick. Those are my
yeah,
favorite.
hell yeah, Reddick. Go watch the Phoenix race from earlier in this year, and you will see. I think it's like when Xander or Morikawa missed those putts. They came out the next week and won. He put himself in position to win that race and to be up front all day when no one the hell ever would have thought it. Slipped up he might have overdrove that by like 10 feet and got in there a little hot, never recovered, then got the flat tire. Caution didn't come out. I'll tell you right now, I hope Tyler Reddick goes out there this week and does the same damn thing because he's in every single one of the lineups I've built because I watched that race just like you. And that some bitch, he has it here. I'm telling you, he can run any lane too. He was running all the way third lane in old 3 and 4 and then chopping down, and then running into turn 1 and 2 up top. He was running down in the turn 1 and old turn 1 and 2 down on the apron.
Yep.
I mean, some bitch. He can absolutely flat get it around here. He's my favorite play this week.
Yeah, as he should be. I mean, he drove up the second. He was flying. He was absolutely flying.
I'd have to pull up the stats. I'm sure you might have them closer, but he had double-digit fastest laps too.
Oh yeah, he was hauling
when he wrecked.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm there.
Eric Jones, Swan Song with Joe Gibbs Racing. Look for him to do well. I don't see how that little trio there doesn't just score you a crap ton of points this week.
It'll be done. So be there. The Clint Boyer and Eric Almirola, they're probably going to have very similar setups to Harvick, which means they are going to run good. I don't know. I don't know how much I'm going to get there with my builds.
Right.
How much I'm going to get there. I really do think a sneaky play is Austin Dillon. Burrito starting 12th is a little too close to the front for me, even though he could drive into the top 10.
Right.
I like Austin Dillon starting 18th because, if you go back and you watch the videos here, there's tendencies for long runs here, especially late in the going. And every time there was a long run, Austin Dillon would be like 23rd and then drive his way up to like 12th. Well,
right.
if you're starting me 18th and you're going to drive up to 12th or potentially into the top 10 at that price tag, I'm there. I'm all there.
Right.
I like him more than I like Bell and even Busher starting 31st. I hope people eat the chalk on Busher and take a load of them because I just don't see him doing really that well at all this week.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's been really tough for me because I've been on Busher the past couple weeks based off of past couple of years' performances at the tracks where we were at. And man, it's just so sad. I mean, you
Yes.
know, DFS, you always try to be a week ahead. So you get the guys. And I tell you, it was so sad because if I was there and I had enough Busher covered and I had it all covered in different spots with different winners. And man, it sucked so bad because I hate it when you have the right call and something happens. I mean, I had him at like 8%, something stupid low when he was starting 28th, and I was just like, just be Chris Busher, just
Yeah.
go out there, be fucking Chris Busher, and he couldn't do it. And
Nope.
I think that just shows you how far off Roush Fenway Racing is in mile and a higher tracks. Um, I don't know what's going to get them out of the funk. I don't know if they need a driver switch up. I don't know if they need crew chief and engineer switch up. Something's got to change over there.
Captain Hat don't want to spend a whole lot of money anymore. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
I'm gonna have some Newman this week just because I know he runs well here, and he can get up on the wheel. But man, I can't wait to do the breakdown on Roush Fenway Racing and Newman and Busher for the playbook for next year because I I really want to see how they improve in 2021 because this is the last year with this generation car. And then we're going to go into a whole new car. And I think it'll be a lot more even, but I don't think they'll have the same drivers there in 2 years that they have here now. So it'll be real interesting. This is the first time in a while that Roush Fenway will have the same two drivers starting the following year that were in the car the year before. So it'll be interesting to see for sure. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not going to go off and say that Ryan Newman's at the same driver level as Busher. I think he's a way better driver, so I think that he should probably make it in more lineups than not in lineups this week, because this dude is going to finish top 10. Like, it's
Yeah.
going to happen. I'm almost to the point to lock Ryan Newman in as one of my top 3 drivers this week. Like that's how close I am with Ryan Newman. Starting 19th, Ross ran 13th to 15th in that car earlier this year, so the speed was there earlier in the year, and Newman knows how to get around this place. Newman had older tires by like 50 or 60 laps and started on the pole with like 4 laps to go and held him off for a win. Like, you don't just do that. Like, it just doesn't happen here. You got to drive your balls off, and you got to know how to get around this place, and he knows how to do it. In the long runs, he will drive to the front. He will end up top 10 on the end of long runs.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I'll have a bunch. And then another sneaky play, which was a sneaky play in March, is Cole Custer. He started 14th.
Sneaky play, $90,000 sneaky play.
Yeah.
And you know what's so funny, Tyler? We talked the day before that. Before We Live Fantasy was a thing, before anything was a thing. And we were talking about the 3 rookies, right? And we were talking about them and talking about them and talking about them. And you told me on Saturday, I got a good feeling about Cole Custer. I watched that Xfinity race, and Tyler Reddick didn't really do much. Christopher Bell was just Christopher Bell. And he got mixed up with Allgaier that race, I think, the race that you and I watched for homework. And then and you're just like, but Cole Custer, you know, he drives well on tracks that doesn't have a lot of grip where you have to drive the car.
And I figured he'd have Harvick's setup or something similar.
Yeah, or something similar. And I tell you, Cole Custer starting 15th doesn't scare me at all. Matt Kenseth scares the shit out of me starting 16th, but Cole Custer doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah, no, and it's funny you say that because, I hate Kenseth starting 16th because I don't know what to do with it.
Even though he's done well in the past here, man, he's fucking burned me week after week. I can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah, Cole Custer is an interesting pick, though, because earlier in the year, I think he started 14th in that race I took him, and he finished 9th. So it was like perfect. It got me like 44 points. exactly what I needed out of him, and he was about the same price. So
Yeah.
I'm going back. I'm doing it again. I will sub out some Custer for Ryan Newman's because Ryan Newman was not in this race earlier this year, and I would have taken him.
Right.
But other than that, as we get down here, I think Bubba Wallace. Here's something interesting about Bubba Wallace.
All right, let's hear it. Humanitarian of the Year award winner, Bubba Wallace.
Great, because he deserves it. So I hate taking him because he fucks me every time I take him, but he finds ways to finish well at short tracks. I don't know what it is. He will be like 2 laps down, and then all of a sudden he stays out for a couple cautions late and ends up back in the lead lap and finishes top 20. I don't know. He does it. So I don't know if it's him or the crew chief. Whatever, it works. Fine. At 23rd, I think he's going to be very low owned. I will take a few darts because I watched the race here, and he did run top 15 for a bit of time. I don't know if he could put the finish together that way, but I'll take some darts.
Yeah.
I'll throw.
Yeah, and one last note I have on Cole Custer, right next to Tyler, played him and won a bunch of money, is that he's the lowest owned SHR guy, and we like attacking those spots.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Mr. McDowell, 29th. What a great starting spot for him. My God, at 6,300. Are they ever going to wake up on McDowell and Nemechek pricing, or is it like they're just going to just roll with it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, earlier this year, there was about an 8-week stretch where McDowell was $5,500 starting 34th. So, like.
I know. McDowell made so many fans this year just from Draftkings.
I know, man. Like Lacey, it was Lacey's guy for like 2 months. And I'm like, I can't keep watching you do this. Like, this should not be a thing. Like, stop. But it worked. So, whatever. Yeah. I will have some McDowell's starting 29th. I think he's the chalk down here. I think everyone takes him, and I hope he finishes 25th.
Yeah, well, I'd rather have Suarez.
I would rather have Suarez. Here's the deal. Mi Amigo was like 7% owned at Phoenix earlier this year. I watched all the films of him drive that 19 car here. He drove his first race here, not in the 19 car. It was another car, I forget for who, and did well. He drives well at this track. I don't know why, but he always has.
I think it's because it looks like Mexico around the track.
That's racist, and I'll take it. But it might be that. Maybe he feels at home. That's fine. Good. If you know what, we play California golfers when they're in California for a reason. So
right.
If we're gonna say this is as close as a home track in America as we could get for Mi Amigo, fucking do it, man. He started 31st earlier this year. He was the same fucking price. He drove to 21st or 20th. He was in my winning lineup. Nobody else had him. I had just enough. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm with you. I wouldn't overlook Stenhouse or Priest or Dillon because surprisingly, they actually have pretty good numbers here.
They do.
But I don't think they're going to maximize you like a McDowell or Suarez would. There'd have to be some stuff happen in front of them, especially with Nemechek down here. I want to click LaJoy, but that's pretty much my bare bone. I'm not going any lower than that unless I have to reach for a Brandon Poole. But even then, I don't feel good below anyone below Nemechek.
I did take a couple J.J. Yaley stats.
Yeah?
And I'll tell you why.
All right, bring it on.
If you start a lineup with J.J. Yaley, the options become amazing.
It already looks like an all-star lineup just with J.J. Yaley in it.
Right. Here's the also J.J. Yaley nugget for you. J.J. Yaley has run a shitload of laps at Phoenix.
Yes, he has.
And J.J. Yaley likes to finish right around 20th when it comes to Phoenix in the Cup Series. So if that happens at $5,100, I'm going to be doing the pee-pee dance all the way to the bank.
All right, so here's the deal. Yaley, Suarez.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, we're doing it right now.
Oh, then go for it. I wasn't going to do that.
$9,800 left over. We're gonna go Kozlowski.
It was one or the other. It was either Suarez or Yaley, not both, dude.
All right, we're gonna do. All All right, you ready for this? Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano. Suarez, Yaley leaves you $7,900, gets you Clint Boyer down.
I mean, I actually don't hate that, but you're just asking for a lot.
You're asking for it. All right, how about this? How about this? You ready for this? God damn it. I can't do that. Hang on. Hang on. All right. Can't do it. Never mind. You can't do it. You have to go Brendan Poole for it to happen, and I can't do that to us. I
No,
did.
no.
I did. I'm just gonna load this in just for the hell of it. This is Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Daniel Suarez, and then you have $4,900 left over. You can pick your poison there. I went Brendan Poole. What? Because why not? That's loaded in, and there's no turning back now. So.
I wouldn't
if
go
that
crazy.
one wins, you guys are welcome.
That's right. I wouldn't go crazy with the Yaleys. I'm just saying if you wanted to pivot from Suarez or Nemechek, I do like Nemechek too. He ran decent here early in the year until he got wrecked.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. I just wouldn't go heavy there. And same goes for Priest. Priest was running well. I think he was in
Priest
like round
was
15.
running well.
Yeah.
I watched the race too. Priest and Stenhouse. They
Yeah.
they did all right, and so did Ty Dillon. Surprisingly, Ty Dillon.
Yeah. I really wish that was like 25th.
Oh,
Like,
because he's gonna finish 22nd.
he's going to finish like 16th to 18th. You know. And here's the deal with this race. Most of the time, there's long runs to finish it out, and most of the time, there's not a lot of wrecks. Most of the time, there's not a lot of people who could go from the back to the front either, meaning like you're not going to find somebody starting like a Suarez that's going to finish, 15th. It's just not going to happen. Not enough cars are going to fall out. So I really think stacking 3 DOMs up top and taking, 2 guys maybe down here and then 1 in the middle is probably going to be the winning lineup. So that's where I'm at. I wouldn't go lower than Suarez, preferably. Is basically what I'm getting at. Or Nemechek. Let's say Nemechek. Sorry.
Yeah, that's where I'm at because I think I love Corey LaJoie, but is he going to get me a top 10? No. Well, does Nemechek have the capabilities to get me a top 10? Yes.
Well, I would say top 15.
Top 15, fine. I'll take it. I'll take it.
But yeah,
but
yes.
You know what I'm saying. And
yeah.
So yeah, that's that. So that's Phoenix, guys. That's going to wrap it up for the 2020 season. We will have some content for you over the off season, and if you are a WeLiveFantasy.com subscriber, you will be getting the 2021 playbook where we break down the truck full driver roster and schedule. So you kind of have a snapshot of what you should be expecting, what you should be looking for each race, for each series, going through the 2021 season. And our power rankings and how we're ranking them and what we're kind of looking for in 2021. We're also going to have a awesome tool on the website soon to help you throughout things too. So give you a little more bang for your buck for a subscription to WeLiveFantasy.com. If you have any questions about Phoenix lineups, I wouldn't even bother messaging me. I would send it to Tyler. I mean, you can message me if you want, but I'm just messing. But Tyler's got Phoenix down. Very excited, Tyler. It's gonna be sad. We're gonna be closing up the books on 2020, but I think we're gonna go into Daytona and the Bud Shootout even stronger than we've ever had, and it's gonna be absolutely takedown season. But let's go one more time and try to win some money this week. If you guys need us, WeLiveFantasy.com. We Live Fantasy on Facebook, WLF Bets on Instagram, and We Live Fantasy on Twitter. If you guys need us, reach out, smash the like button, share your winnings, share your good stories, and if we did help you, we would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let us know. So hope you guys have a good weekend. Peace out.
Later.